Hi there, I'm Carl Prizzi, Senior Vice President of Product Management, and today I'll be showing you a sneak peek of what's to come in this summer's iApp 6.0 release. We have some new and exciting features that will be made available to our cloud customers on August 12th, and our perpetual customers can also choose to opt into the upgrade in late August. Please be sure to contact your account manager for more details. Okay, so let's get started. When I first log into iApp's Content Manager, you'll notice that we have a new dashboard available that's consistent to the new marketing dashboard that was just released in April. This dashboard provides a quick snapshot of all the assets that you've created within the system here. So across the top you can see your total pages, content items, files, images, etc. And you can see that I can easily jump to manage those assets as well. Below that we have our recently updated pages. And you can see here a listing of all the most recent pages that have been published on the system. If I wanted to, I can highlight that page. I can go to edit that page from here, jump to the site in the editor, edit the page properties. I can also delete the page from here. If I wanted to, I can preview the page by clicking on this little icon, and that'll open the page in a separate tab here. All right. We can also see of course, the template that's used, the status of the actual page itself, when it was last modified, and who modified it. At the top here, we have a little filter available. So if you wanted to filter down to find the appropriate page, you can filter and find that page here and ultimately take action. We also have some different filtering capabilities to view by different statuses and sorting, etc. Now below that, if our site had blogs on it, we have an area for any comments from those blogs that are awaiting moderation. Right? So if you enable moderation, you would get the alerts here where you can see any of those comments that have been posted on the site that need you to take action to either approve those comments. You can edit the comment, delete the comment, or reply to the person that posted the comment here. Okay, so some other changes that we made include our asset libraries. I'll first start off under menus and pages here. And you'll notice that we refreshed not only the look and feel of the library interfaces, but we also addressed the performance and load time. So navigating around iApps is a lot speedier now due to a more modern interface technology that we're using here for rendering these libraries. You'll also notice as I click through, you can see the jumper icons here as well. So if I wanted to, again, preview that page, it quickly opens that page up in a separate tab. All right, I can preview it and close the tab. From here, I can also do things like under this little arrow, we have consolidated some of the actions. The visibility is now available under this drop down here, so I can turn the visibility on or off of a menu item. I can also edit the permissions of that menu item from here, right, and determine who has access to it. And then I can also do things like reorder the menu items. If there's multiple menu items that appeared underneath here, I can reorder them, and also reorder pages from here as well. All right, so let's navigate into solutions. We have multiple pages that exist here, so we could take a look, and if we say reorder menus, we have the ability to reorder these and move them up or down. Right, in this reordering sequence, the same usage, the same pattern is used across all the libraries throughout the system. We've also have the ability to reorder tags now. So in the tags library, you'll notice that same drop-down is available. So if I go under blog, if I wanted to reorder some of these categories under the blog tagging, I can click on the arrow and click on reorder tags, and again move these up or down. Okay. So that covers the library, some of the changes in the libraries. At this point, I'll jump into the site editor and we'll take a look at some changes within the editing tool itself. All right, so I'll just jump into a detailed content page, and we can see here our mission page is just a general page of content. You'll notice within any freeform content, we have now our new WYSIWYG editor. So if I wanted to edit this text, I just get basically a WYSIWYG editor that gets placed at the top of that container, and you'll see that I'm in edit mode right now. That WYSIWYG editor moves around with you. It sort of stays with you as you scroll. If I'm at the bottom of the page, it sort of repositions itself based on basically giving you the optimal viewing experience there. You'll notice that I can also go ahead and I'm just typing away. It's presented in the same consistent style sheet of what's been designed here. The old editor had some difficulties in the fact that we had to manage two separate style sheets, one for the editor and one for the front-end template itself. Now that's gone away. So we have, with this new editor, it picks up the style sheets of the site, of what's been designed for the site, and allows you to edit directly in that style sheet, so you're seeing exactly how it's going to appear to the front-end user. Right, you'll also notice some nice features here. As I'm typing away, we get a history of changes that have been made to this page, and I have the ability to undo and redo. Right, so throughout my session, if I make a number of changes, I can undo them, redo them. Right, so nice feature there. You can also use your Control Z or Command Z if you're on a Mac to toggle that as well. You'll also notice all the formatting capabilities. If I'm just typing away here, again, our standard formatting of bold, italics, etc. Right, so if we apply some styling here, right, if I wanted to, I can clear the formatting just simply clicking on this little icon here. And then we have all of our standard alignment. Nothing has really changed too much here. Align left, align center, align right. It's fairly straightforward. As far as bulleted lists, we do have different bullet options now available. So if I highlight my sample text here and I choose to utilize a circle, I can see a different format of bullet there. If I want to use a square instead, right, so we have a couple different options there for bullets. The same with numbered lists. We have numbered lists where we can do lowercase, uppercase, alpha, Roman, etc. So there's some different options there now for formatting your lists. In addition to that, you'll notice that we do have the ability to indent our content. So if we want to indent, we can just keep clicking this. It'll keep adding some padding there. And if I decrease the indent, it brings it back. Another way to add some spacing, there's a non-breaking space feature. If I wanted to click on, within some of the content here, I can click on this icon for inserting a non-breaking space. You can see it's spacing it out. You'll notice when I jump into the HTML mode, there'll be a non-breaking space character in here. We also have some nice formatting capabilities for things like font colors now. We are able to apply different font colors. So I can just select this little drop down here and choose a nice font color. We also give some more flexibility as far as the styling, different formats, font sizing as well is available here now, so we can change the font size. We also have, under that formats drop down, if I wanted to change some of these header styles, I go in here to formats. You can see all my header styles are available here, right? And it's now rendering in the appropriate style, so you can actually see what it looks like before you apply it. So let me apply an H3 to this. It actually applies to the whole thing. This is, I believe, a paragraph. So you can see how that works. I can also go in here. Again, reduce the font size if I wanted to. We have, if it's in a div tag, a paragraph tag, whatever you select is highlighted here. Right? So you see that little gray bar that lets you know that that's the option that you have selected. So if I want to change it to something else, simply click and it changes to that option instead. We have different containers available. If I want to insert a block quote, I can do that here. Right? So it indents it a little bit and makes it a block quote. Move down on the page a little bit. You'll notice that we have all of our inline styles. Some of them are up here. We also have some additional inline styles here as well for things like superscript, subscript, strike-throughs. You can also insert code. And then any custom CSS that we want to apply, we can insert that in here under this menu. So right now we have image align left and align right. We can also add any other custom styles that we want from here. All right, then moving down to the lower tray, we have the ability to insert image from the library, of course. Slightly different interface than what you're used to, but we've consolidated all the insertion of images. So the regular images, the product images that exist in Commerce, or any external images as well can be used. You would just put the full URL of the image in here, and again, you have some controls around dimension and the alt text. Alt text is important, especially for from an SEO standpoint, and also 508 compliance. You always want to make sure you're applying alt text to your images when you insert them. So I'm just going to browse my image library. I'll insert, let's see here, one of these. Put this banner in here. Go ahead and insert it. And what's great with this is you'll notice we have these little handlebars. We can scale the image down, size it to fit in the page. So again, some nicer features there as far as handling images is concerned. If I wanted to apply a link to anything, link to content, apply a link to this image, for example, I have my link manager, which is a single icon now. We had multiple icons in the past. It's a single icon to apply a link. And then you have the option to have it linked to a page, a file in the file library, image in the image library, etc. Could be an external URL as well. And then you just essentially populate the values, right? So if I wanted to have this navigate to one of my solution pages, right, highlight that, select it, and populates the full URL here. You see we also have some options. You can target a new window with that and ultimately create the link. All right. We also have the ability to remove a link from here. If I wanted to, I can click on this icon to remove the link. And then for those sites that have any localization of content, where we're inserting site attributes into the content, so for a lot of the franchise organizations out there, you're inserting variables in your content, and it's localizing the content automatically based on the settings that have been configured for each location. Right? So office hours or different services that may be available. Those are what we call tokens, right? And the insert token feature is available here now. So I click on insert token. It allows me to navigate my site attributes, and I can select the appropriate token and include in there. So if I had a unique Facebook URL per location site, it would render this on the front end. It would render that URL to the end user. So this is what the variable looks like. All right. Moving on to our snippets. So we have a different code snippet library now, so that this is how we manage our code snippets all underneath this little module here. All right, so if you wanted to highlight a block of text and reuse it multiple times, you can basically highlight that and add a new snippet into the library here, and then again you can utilize that in multiple pages. Okay. The table functionality is a lot more robust now and works a lot better. So if I click on table, insert table, I can insert maybe a 3x2. You can see the properties here. I have the ability of clicking and dragging and resizing this table. I can even move the column widths around. And of course I see the dotted line, so I know exactly where the table is. And I have different properties available to me here as well. All right, so if I want to add some cell spacing or padding, add a border to the table, I could do that right from here. All right. And we have the ability to insert a horizontal line. It's fairly straightforward. All right. And go down here. I think it's fairly faint, hard to see on the screen here. And then we have our anchoring capability. So if we wanted to have a jump menu where we click on the link and have that jump down, we can insert anchors by clicking with the cursor and just clicking on that anchor link here. You can see that inserts a little anchor icon, and when I'm in my link manager, I'm able to jump down to that anchor now. We also have some translation capabilities built in here. So if I wanted to translate, this appears here. I can click on that and click on this translate icon, and say if I wanted to translate that to Italian, right, just automatically updates that piece of content. There's a nice find and replace function within here now. If I navigate back up to the top, and let's do a find and replace for lorem, since there's a lot of lorms in here, lorem ipsum, and I'll replace it with test. Right, I have case matching, etc. I do a find, it highlights everything, and then I can replace it one by one, just as within Microsoft Word. We also have spell checking capabilities. So if I just hit spell check here, it's going to run through all that content, highlights anything that needs fixes. So again, very similar to the Microsoft Word experience. Another nice feature from a layout standpoint is this little show blocks here. So if I click on that icon, it'll actually render all the different blocks of HTML tags. So our paragraph tag, for example, here's our block of content in that paragraph tag. Our little block quote, here's our block quote. All right, so I'm able to see really where these regions end and click exactly where I need to continue editing content. Any div tags, etc. would show up this way as well. And we're getting a bit into HTML, so for those folks that are familiar with HTML, we have a much better source code viewer now. You can see that everything is color-coded with syntax, appropriate syntax color coding here. The non-breaking spaces that I inserted earlier, here's the series of non-breaking spaces. All right. All right, so I think that covers the WYSIWYG editor. One thing to note is when you're within the content library and you're editing a freeform content item, you have a couple of additional features. You'll actually get a word count on that block of content. So let's just take a look at that real quick. We'll navigate over there. And let's go back to the last visited page. All right, content items. And we'll take a block of content here. If I edit this piece of content, you can see here's the raw content item. And we have a little word count at the bottom. We also have the ability of going full screen with this. All right, so if we wanted more real estate to edit our content, click on full screen, and we have a nice full page of editing experience here with the WYSIWYG editor at the top. All right, so just a nice additional feature there as well when you're editing just the raw content within the content item library. I'm going to show you another nice feature that we've added here. So if I drill into menus and pages and find a page that I want to edit, I go to edit that page, jump to the site in the editor, and say if I make my changes, now I want to navigate back to that menu item and continue working on something else. I click on last visited page, and now this brings me back to exactly where I left off within the menus and pages. Historically, it used to be all collapsed, and I have to navigate through again to find where I left off. This will bring you right back to where you left off in the system. So again, a nice feature there to streamline your work experience. All right, let's now jump back into the site editor, and I'll show you some changes on the preview side of things. There's just a page note. Let me close that. So our preview function has changed slightly, has been enhanced as well. So I'm currently in edit mode. If I want to preview this page, see what it looks like to the front-end user, just click on the globe icon, and now I'll be presented with a series of drop-downs. So I see that I'm in preview mode, but I can also see two drop-downs here. The first drop-down is if I have audience segments enabled, where I can target content to different audiences. All right, so in this case, we have geo-targeting configured for this site. So I can see here's what the default view looks like for the anonymous user that comes into the site. But if I wanted to have targeted content for maybe visitors that come from New York, I could see what that page variant looks like. And you can see here at the bottom of the page, we have a little call out for an upcoming conference in New York. So that targeting concept can apply to any page throughout the site and really to any content item. So if I wanted to swap out this banner here and make it more relevant to New York visitors, I can do that. Right? For this example, we just have a simple example here of having an additional content item at the bottom. But you can also see not only the desktop view of it, I can see the tablet view. You'll notice I can change from portrait to landscape. It's a nice little feature there for previewing. Getting down to the smartphone, the small smartphone view as well. Again, same portrait and landscape views there. All right, so I'm going to toggle out of preview mode to go back to edit mode here. Yeah, so I think that covers off a lot of the changes within the content manager experience. Again, the biggest one is the new WYSIWYG editor. I know we've gotten a lot of feedback about the old one, and we've definitely heard you and have been working very hard on that feature. And hopefully you'll be pleased with the editing experience going forward there. All right. One thing to note is on the content definitions, these have changed slightly as well. You'll notice anything that's required has a highlight to it, so it'll say title is required, and you just populate it here, right? So different, more modern look and feel from an interface standpoint again, and that's across the board throughout the editing experience. Okay. All right, so the final feature that I want to show you today is our new product offering of iApps Insights. So I'll just jump right over into Insights here. And essentially what our Insights product is, let me log into, now we'll log into Insights and take a look at that. Okay, so this is the dashboard that's loading in here. This is our new Insights product that really augments your core Google Analytics data with native iApps platform data. All right, so right off the bat here, we're including form submissions and downloads as far as the different activity that can be reported on and pushed to Google and rendered within this experience. And so this is V1 of the products, and you'll notice that there's a whole slew of different reports that are available here. First off, within the dashboard, you can see that I'm able to have multiple sites. So in a franchise type of organization or brand network where there's multiple sites, you can aggregate all those sites and jump from one site to the other, right? If we had multiple sites here. You can also see there's a sort of a duration here. We can change the total date range, and instead of month to date, we can look back, year to date, etc. Right? And then from this view here, I could see all my interactive graphs, all the different activity for overall traffic, page views by device type, by browser, by city and country. Then we break it down, page views by channel, right? So we could see organic versus direct search as well, any referrals, direct traffic, social, and then any page views by social network. We break it down by social network here, right? The top duration pages, so a nice module for presenting those pages that have the total average time on site is the greatest, and then we can see the top exit pages as well. Right, so this is just sample data from our Bridgeline site using our Google Analytics code. One thing to note, for all those sites that do have Google Analytics enabled, which is a majority of our customers, this will load in all of your historical data. Right, so once we enable the Insights products, one thing to note, it is a separate license. So again, reach out to your account manager, your business development executive to learn more about that. But once we enable it, it'll load in all your historical data and render that in context of iApps. Right? So no longer having the need to have a separate window open, looking at Google Analytics. It's all available within the platform here. You can see that we have a whole series of different reports available under visitors, as country reports, region reports, city, language, etc. Drill into different operating systems, for example. It gives you a report of those different operating systems, and I can see as I click, the different activity there. I can see overall traffic reports, page views, entry pages, exit pages, page depth, etc. New versus returning visitors. So we've essentially, simplified the analytics experience, making it very easy for you to navigate through here and find the data that you're looking for. We have referring sites as well, any of the referring channels, social channels as well here. Events, these are any triggers of form submissions through iApps in addition to any iApps file downloads. We do have some search reporting as well for any internal search. If the site had an internal search engine built into it, we can report on those search terms. And we also see the real-time data as well. So any real-time activity on the site. Currently the site has 2 active users, active countries, etc. Then of course there's administration for different users and settings of who can actually view the Insights data. Right, so again, the benefit of this platform is it's leveraging your Google Analytics data. It's also supplementing that data with our iApps data. Future versions will also include commerce transactions. So any transactions that occur if your site does have commerce, that'll push to Google Analytics and have a more comprehensive view of your traffic and how that correlates to the different commerce transactions that occur. In addition to the flow actions that happen within the marketing automation platform. So your marketing automation flows, any of those triggered actions that occur would also be reported on and available within our Insights platform here. And some other future updates are going to be when you're within context of your pages, viewing your pages within the site editor, being able to flip into an analytics mode to view the stats for that particular page. All right, so that summarizes all the recent updates here for the iApps 6.0 release. I hope you enjoyed the session here today. Again, any questions whatsoever, feel free to reach out to your account manager, and we'll be more than happy to speak with you. Thanks so much, and have a good day.